ask you to think back to when you were 9 years old. So for some of you, this is going to be a little bit more difficult than others, but to provide a little bit of context and help, you're in the 4th grade. So think about who your 4th grade teacher is. I don't want to tell you how long it took me to remember who that was, Mrs. Balow, finally. Who were your friends in 4th grade? What kind of sweet clothes were you sporting? Who did that young, optimistic 9-year-old dream of becoming at your current age? What did that 9-year-old think your current life would be like? So a couple of things here. Your current age to that 9-year-old probably seemed absolutely ancient, and you're like, totally not old, right? And secondly, we were all kind of assuming that at our current age, we'd pretty much have things figured out by now, right? Feel confident, good, happy, content, everything's great. But in my work with organizations and individuals, a lot of people share with me that their current life is absolutely nothing like they were expecting. They'll share with me, you know what? Totally wasn't expecting to be divorced. I wasn't expecting to still have debt. Confiding in me, I wasn't expecting to not really like my job. For sure, was not expecting there to be so much change. I mean, trying to keep up with the rapid pace of innovation, there's acquisitions and mergers and constant reorganizations. I wasn't expecting to have really horrible work-life balance. I wasn't expecting to be completely addicted to a little rectangle that was always in my hand. And I really wasn't expecting to have my kids still living in my house. I think a lot of us expect that by a certain age, we're totally going to have things figured out. We'll have enough status, enough money, enough experience. But a lot of unexpected and stressful things do happen in our lives. This is my family. This is my husband, Mark. That's me in the middle. My hair's a little bit happier now than it was there. That's my daughter, Bella, and this is her 5th birthday. So we're celebrating. It's a happy family. Everything in my life is totally going as expected. You know, like you meet somebody, you fall in love, you travel, you get married, you buy the house, you get the dog, you have the kid. I'm checking all the boxes. And 3 months after this photo was taken, we were divorced, which thus far is the biggest failure of my life. Now I say thus far because I feel like I'm semi-young and I've still got a lot of years to pooch things, a little bit bigger than this maybe. But not only was it sort of the biggest failure of my life, by far it was the most stressful time of my life. And what I really, really was not expecting was to be trading a husband for a wife. So, yeah. Things were a little bit complicated. So as my life was falling apart, the world continued to spin, as it does. I still had a business to run. I was still traveling. I had a lot of international travel. I had to find a new place to live. I had a 5-year-old who was completely confused. I was trying so hard to just be the best mother that I could. And when I think back to that time, what is most salient for me immediately is just how physical that whole time was, because I wasn't sleeping, yet wasn't tired. My rheumatoid arthritis flared to epic proportions. When I was getting sleep, I had to wear a mouth guard, because I was even stressed out while I was sleeping. I was clenching my teeth, and they would get stuck underneath each other while I was sleeping. I mean, my body was screaming at me, as was my mother. So the chemistry of stress devastated my body during this time, and it took me many, many, many months to recover. And I remember a very specific point in time, thinking, dreaming, hoping that I could actually get sick enough to be hospitalized so that I just didn't have to take responsibility. It would have been an easy out. And I sometimes wonder, had I not been healthy when this whole thing went down, what would have happened? So, what came out of this whole experience, besides me out of the closet, apparently, and doubling my wardrobe overnight? Amazing. There's actually one thing that I did right during this time that saved me.